What's up, kids? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I wanted to show you a pen that I actually got recently. I've been using it for a few days now, and I really like it. It is the Montblanc Starwalker Midnight Black Fineliner. It comes in this box, in this package, and comes with an instruction manual, which actually is cool because the texture on the manual is the same as the texture on the box. I don't know if you need really writing guide so much for a pen, because they pretty much work like you expect them to, but this is probably the nicest pen I've actually ever owned, and it's fairly low-key, unsuspecting. It's a really beautiful pen. It's sleek and it's not very big. So, typically when I would think about Montblanc pens, I would really think about kind of those big, the big fat pens, two pieces, large with a screw-on cap that look more like a fountain pen. But what I really liked about this Starwalker, not Skywalker, is that everything about it is pretty understated. So it's a black resin case like most Montblanc pens, and it's very nicely finished. I know that on other Montblanc pens I've seen, when you've used them a while, you start to get some of those fine scratches. I think some of that can maybe be polished out, but resin is kind of what it is, and it's kind of plasticky, so it'll end up showing some wear. One of the cool things about this is that I believe the hardware is what's called ruthenium plated, and I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's some sort of hard chemical or metallic plating. But what you can see here is that anything that's metal, including the threaded screw portions down here at the bottom, and the very typical Montblanc clasp, and the cap at the top here, which says across the top, which says Montblanc, which is engraved all the way around. It's got three little marks on either end bookmarking that Montblanc name, and then the serial number for that pen at the top there are all kind of this gray chrome-ish look. So I mean, probably the closest thing I can say is that it's gunmetal, and it's got a very shiny dark metallic finish to it, and it seems to be pretty durable. I haven't had any problems with it, and what's kind of nice is that you get a little bit of contrasting textures here. So you can see that in some places it's been polished, in other places it's got the sandblasted look. You can see the threading where the cap, when I unscrew it from the bottom, will screw on here onto the back and stay secured. So it's kind of nice because it's not just there's a lot of detail to give it some contrasting textures there. And then the bottom is also this ruthenium plating, and again, it's cool looking. It's got some corrugation here on the end for grip, and it's right in the right place, and it's pretty shallow, but it's definitely grippy, and it's not uncomfortable, and it definitely holds. I mean, especially if I were holding it down here, you can kind of get a little bit of slipperiness. But right here, I've never had a problem, and it's quite comfortable. And then right here at the very tip is what's called the Fineliner tip, and I'm having a little trouble focusing on it, maybe because it's having trouble finding it. But basically, that Fineliner is an interesting pen tip. It writes like a roller ball, but the closest thing I would say it feels and behaves like is a very, very fine tipped marker. The whole end is kind of this felt, and it is completely ink covered. And interestingly, if I try to write with it, it might be a little hard to show you here. It writes very much like a roller ball, but if I just press and hold, it kind of spreads out that ink like a marker will. And a roller ball will do a similar thing, but just feels, the tip feels a little soft. And if you, so if you like kind of that a little bit more resistance like a marker on paper, you're going to really like this Fineliner. But if you like that really smooth glide feel of a roller ball, then I would suggest getting the roller ball. and then I assume you can refill it with any type of Montblanc compatible refill to put in a ballpoint or an actual roller ball in it if you wanted to. But overall, really, really love this pen. The coolest feature of it I haven't showed you yet. And so if you're familiar with Montblanc pens, you know that on the end, typically they will have a black plastic end resin cap with an inset Montblanc logo in white resin. This one does not have that, and what it does have is it has a floating logo. So it has kind of this acrylic end cap, and it gives the pen a little bit of, you know, like a pocket flashlight like look, to be honest. And it I had a little trouble focusing right on it, but you can see, and I'm not sure how they do it, because what it's also not, you can see that Montblanc logo kind of floating in clear acrylic, and what is a little hard to see here is that it's actually curved like there's like the traditional Montblanc tip inside where, you know, it's got a curved end, and so it's got a little bit of curve to the piece that's floating in there, which is super cool. So it kind of makes me suspect that they actually might, this might help a little bit, they actually might create a little curved acrylic, clear acrylic piece, apply the logo to the very tip of it, and then pour and mold additional acrylic around it to give you that very clear single piece. But you know, it's one of those kind of little details that you say is really cool. It's kind of like getting an Aston Martin and the key is crystal. It's kind of like you know, getting the new GE refrigerator. When it's done filling your water glass, it has like little bell chimes. You know, it's nothing practical. It's just a really cool piece, and you get kind of fascinated by it. And I'll tell you what, I've had this pen for a few days already, and it's very easy to kind of be entranced by this piece that's just floating there. It's totally unique, and it's a really cool spin on what is traditionally just a white plastic resin end cap that fits under the end of a Montblanc pen. So really a cool modern piece to a very traditional design element for Montblanc. So this is the Starwalker Midnight Black Fineliner. You can get the same pen basically in a fountain pen and a roller ball and a ballpoint, I think, directly from Montblanc. This is something of an entry-level pen for them. You can get it for about $390. If you hunt it around, about $375. Not a pen that they're giving away, but for a pen that is not too big. It's really just the right size. It's nice heft and really understated details. I think it's just an incredible writing instrument. So if you like these writing instruments, pick it up. Starwalker Midnight Black Fineliner. Panda out.